In the US, there are two traditional ways to win an election. Make policy that people like and vote for, or make policy that donors like and then stop people that don't like you from voting.
In 2013, the Supreme Court gutted the Voting Rights Act, which prevents racial discrimination within voting, which is great because we all know racism is over. Woohoo! All votes matter! Yeah! After the Voting Rights Act was changed, some states rushed laws to make it mandatory for voters to have ID. But here's the thing, 11% of Americans don't have any form of government-issued ID.
That's the sweet spot in the Venn diagram of people who can't drive and don't like to go clubbing. That's me.
What counts as valid voter ID? Well, up until recently, in Texas, you could vote with a concealed carry license, but not a student ID. Yeah. Oh, could I get another one? Yeah, I made a mistake. Thankfully, a federal court intervened and Texas's voter ID laws may be changing. Regardless, all these changes to the rules just confuse voters even more and stop them dead in their tracks. Thanks, buddy.
Voter turnout is the lowest it's been since World War II. But still, you guys still have to wait in line for hours to vote. And if you do get to the front of the line, there's no guarantee that there'll be any ballots left. Ugh.
How long have you been here?
Then there's gerrymandering. That's when politicians redraw their district boundaries to allow them to pick and choose their voters, not the other way around like it is in, say, a democracy.
What do you see here?
I see ways to maximise the amount of votes by bending the voting district boundaries to the will and bias of self-interested partisan lines rather than even representation by percentage of overall population.
That's right. It's Florida US District 5.
Oh, and forget about voting if you have the same name as a convicted criminal. Here in Florida, they spent $4 million in the year 2000 to remove convicted felons from the voter file. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, good! You know, if you commit a crime, you forfeit your right to vote. It is until you, school teacher John Vote-Zalotsky, goes to vote and gets mistaken for meth dealer John Vote-Zalotsky. And it turns out that day, you're not going to vote at all. And if that wasn't bad enough, the Kumquat man-child is actively promoting voter intimidation at the polls.
The only way we can lose, in my opinion, I really mean this, is if cheating goes on. So I hope you people can sort of not just vote on the 8th, go around and look and watch other polling places and make sure that it's 100% fine.
Now, I'm not saying that a bunch of white, angry, open carry enthusiasts playing cops and minority voters is a bad idea. Look at this guy. He's built a tiny prison in the back of his pickup truck. It's just good old-fashioned practical intimidation. Nice work. But here's the thing, voter fraud is extremely rare. Out of all the votes cast between 2000 and 2014, 31 votes were found to be cases of fraud. 31 out of a billion. You have a higher chance of being struck by lightning or by being related to Donald Trump. I think I'll take the lightning. But America, I have a solution to voter suppression. Make voting mandatory, like we have in Australia. You can vote by mail, and on some elections, vote over the internet. Now, I know I can hear what some of you are saying. Oh, tyranny. Oh, what about my freedom not to choose? Well, all you got to do is go get your name marked off. And if the thought of participating in your democracy is so traumatising, just do what Australians do when we all hate our politicians.
Draw a cock and balls on the ballot. It won't change anything, but at least it'll make people think. Don't let these stories of voter suppression throw you off from voting. Make sure you get registered to vote and do it ASAP because all the rules for registering to vote are different from state to state. Isn't that great? That must be why America is like the greatest democracy in the world. Please vote because I can't, because I'm a dirty foreigner.